Good evening, everybody. This is my fourth attempt at making this video. I had Simba the Wonder Dog out here chewing on some sticks. He likes chewing on my scrap wood. He's a big dog, so he likes big sticks to chew on. Then he started barking and ruined the last video. Anyway, so a couple things with this video. A couple quick tool updates. Nothing too crazy. The big thing that I got was a set of these long Torx for reaching into certain areas. So I've got the long hex for metric and SAE. Now I've got the long Torx, and they were like 28 bucks on Amazon. They're like Nico or whatever. So I've got these other Nico ones, and I've been quite happy with them. So picked those up. And then also picked up the deep 5.5. This is for like sometimes under dashes and stuff in cars and whatnot. I was working on my car a little while ago and trying to get to the one spot with just the ratchet and the little 5.5 here, it was too short. So I tried putting an extension on it. And then the extension, even my shortest extension, which is like this guy right here, that made it too long. So I was able to find, this is an OEM Tools one. I think this was on Amazon for like $4.50 some cents or something. So super cheap. So I figured I'd just get the long one, then that way maybe that length the next time it won't be too long with the extension, but longer than just having the short one. So I've actually got that whole rack complete now. It's a mix of everything. There's like up to 12 is Westward, but then there's like this one 5.5 is an OEM Tools. This 13 is a Mastercraft. I used to have a Jet one, but lost my Jet one, so that's a Mastercraft. The 14 is a Cobalt. The shallow 14 is a Cobalt. The 13 again is a Mastercraft, because for some reason the Westward one only went up to 12, and then they skipped a couple smaller sizes. So, but anyway, picked those up for tools. I've also been doing some toolbox shopping. Found a few on Kijiji, which is like, for anybody in the States who's watching this, Kijiji is like our equivalent of Craigslist, I guess. So looked at a couple on there, but they're very similar kind of design to this tall tower ones here. Because I'm starting to run out of room. And what I should have done when I bought these toolboxes is there was another one that I really liked that was 54 inches long. It had a skinny drawer for the top that would have been perfect for wrenches, and another one, deeper drawer that would have been perfect for sockets, and then it had two other banks below it. And I got thinking, oh, I don't need that long box. And for my garage, going up is easier than going horizontal because I don't have much wall space. But my original plan was to get that long box and maybe put it underneath my cupboards, which would have worked good. And the thing that I'm looking at is that box is an 18-inch deep box. And I know everybody likes the big 30-inch or 24-inch deep drawers. And I would love that if I had a bigger garage. But if I got one of those big boxes that's 24 inches deep, you can see how far this drawer sticks out. So you can imagine, like, if I had a bigger vehicle in here, I might not be able to open the drawer all the way if I got a bigger, like a truck or something in here, because of where my toolbox has to go. If I did get a bigger box, then one thing I'd have to do is completely rejig my workbench and extend the top of the workbench out. But then I'm looking, if I get a long truck, I'm looking at drawers that are going to come out to about here. So, you know, it kind of inhibits the room. And like, if I have a half ton, I need to have room to get around and to work on it. So I kind of have to stick with a 18-inch deep box. And that one I was talking about was 18 inches deep, and it would have been perfect. But the mistake I made when I bought these three in the middle is I got looking at what I had at the time versus what I was going to end up getting. And I had a lot smaller tool collection when I got this house. For instance, just to kind of give you an idea, I dug out, those are my two first toolboxes. And I used to have those two on top of that snap-on bottom that I have. And that was what I had for toolboxes. And so I went from that to, and I had the one side cabinet, sorry. So I went from those to then I've added the three in the middle, plus another side cabinet, plus that snap-on top. And I'm pretty full. So, and I was, I got thinking about, okay, I'm only going to need that big of a box, but I've kind of start to outgrow it. And I do like the looks of this box and like the style, because everybody's got those big long ones now. It's kind of like the more retro style. And I'm a sucker for an old toolboxes. I love looking at old like Beaches and Waterloos and old Snap-on ones. And but one the things I'm contemplating is getting I think it's a 52 or 54 inch Husky. And it's like one of those mobile workbenches. So it's got the long drawer on the top, and then it's got like, I think 3 drawers or 4 drawers vertical, like underneath it. And I think it's the same depth as these ones are. And I think if I drilled some holes in it, I could get these international side cabinets to mount to it. So I'm debating that. The only thing is usually Husky boxes, for people who know, they're usually black. And I have a thing where I prefer red toolboxes. Just growing up, toolboxes were always red. And so they do make a red one, and it's like $398 or $498. So it's not horrible price-wise, but the reds are on back order right now. And I want to go see in store what kind of quality they are. But what I was thinking of doing is, if I did get that and I was able to bolt these side cabinets to it, I would get rid of these 3 that are in the middle and sell those and kind of use that to pay off the Husky one. And then I'd bolt all those together and they could go underneath these cupboards. So I've looked at a few, like I said, on Kijiji that are kind of similar like this. I like this old style. I just wish I had a few more deeper drawers, because one of the things I'm running into is I got, of course, my wish list of tools that I want to get. And one of the problems is a lot of those tools, they're like, a slide hammer kit and ball joint press, stuff like that. It's going to be in a blow molded case. And I really don't have a lot of deep drawers to put them in. I have this one. This is probably where they would end up going. But I got some grinders and stuff in there that I'm actually looking about making some some hooks to hang the grinders off the side. We'll see. The other thing I was contemplating on doing is trying to find another intermediate box, like similar to this international one, to maybe put in between these 2 Snap-on ones. I don't know if Snap-on made one. Chances of me finding one to fit these boxes might be slim, because these boxes are from like the late 70s. Like I want to say like 78, 79, maybe 80. And these are Snap-on Canada ones, not Snap-on USA ones. So they, I think, are a little different than the ones I used to sell in the States. So even if I could find like an old Waterloo or an old Beach, I really like those old Beach toolboxes. Like, I like the look of vintage toolboxes. I wish I could just buy a bunch of old vintage Craftsman and Beach and Waterloo and Snap-on boxes and just collect toolboxes if I had a bigger shop, because I love looking at old toolboxes, and I don't know, I'm a bit of a nerd that way. So anyway, I'm trying to think of what I can do to make more room, because you saw this drawer is getting full. My STD sockets are getting full. I've got a little bit of room in my impact ones, but like all my wrenches are, these, I got 3 drawers just for wrenches. So, because I can't fit them all in one drawer. And I have them organized so that it's easier for me to find stuff. I like the older style of box, but I like the newer style of drawer slides. Like all 3 in these middle have these nice roller bearing drawer slides. They slide so nice. And I find with the older ones, they had those like friction style ones, so they didn't slide as well, especially if you had a lot of weight in them. So it's kind of, I wish there's a way you could go online and like design your own toolbox. That would be awesome. So something else I was looking at is in Saskatchewan or in Canada here, we've got this wholesale business called Uncle Wiener's, and they have these big, like huge 75, 80 inch long toolboxes, and they're pretty inexpensive. And I'm kind of hesitant on what the quality would be like. So if anybody who watches this happens to have seen one or owns one, if you could comment below what you think of the quality, we'll see. Because like I don't have the budget for a $2,000 or $3,000 toolbox. Like I'm looking for something under $1,000, and I'd have to sell some of mine to pay for it, right? So, but anything like that I'm, I'm looking at a box like that. Anyway, the whole point of made this video, sorry I went on a big long toolbox rant, is I've also been shopping around for one of those under hood lights, and I've been seeing some for like 130, 180, 160, those rechargeable under hood lights with like the retractable like hooks. And I found this light here at PV Mart. and it's 2100 lumen. It's got like 2 brackets here. You can see to like screw it into your wall. It's for like above your workbench or in your basement or whatever. It was $19.99. And you can actually hook these up. They come with an adapter, so you can hook like 12 of these in a row and run it off of one plug. But I got looking at it and I'm like, I bet you I could make a mount to make that under hood light. So what they do is they come with this little hook here that clips onto it, and that's so you can run the screw into it and then like put a drywall anchor in. So what I did is I just took a machine screw that I had and I cut off some extra chain that I had and chained and then just bolted on with a little machine screw. And then these were kind of popping off a little bit. So what I did was I just ran a couple zip ties and I got that on both ends. And then I just hooked this bungee cord that I got. I was able to find one that stretched long enough across. And now, so there's without it on, there's with it on. I'm like, that makes a huge difference. And it's not very hot. It's like an LED. So for me to touch this, it's not like a fluorescent bulb where I'm burning my hand. It's relatively cool. So if I bump my head around or something like that, or my hand, I'm not going to burn myself because it's LED. So it's sweet. And it makes a huge difference in the engine compartment here. And I got thinking, like, this blue bungee cord works good for my car, but if I'm working on a Jeep or a truck or whatever, I can always just add a little bit of a zip tie, like make a zip tie loop if I need to extend this out. But with tax, I think it was like $23. That is sweet. So I saved myself $130. Now, granted, is it as bright as one of those rechargeable ones? No, but it's Dave budget friendly, so I'm happy about that. So I just thought I'd share that. I was at PV Mart. I was just on the flyer today. For anybody in Canada that sees this, if you have a PV Mart nearby, I'd go grab a few of them. Like I said, you can hook 12 of these together. It comes with this little adapter here that plugs in so you can link them all together. And I'm almost debating getting another one and hooking 2 of them together, but I think I'll be happy with just the one. And it's something that looks like they stock regularly. I don't know what the regular price was. I don't recall, but for $20, that was a steal. And it worked awesome. It took me literally about 5 minutes to whip that bracket together and figure out how I was going to make the chains go on there. I was going to try using some L brackets and bending them. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. I got some small chain and I worked perfect. And I just cut it with my bolt cutters. So works slick. See the evidence of Simba the Wonder Dog was chewing his sticks. And there's something else I was working on too. Sorry, I got work stuff. I'm on call right now. So this cabinet here, that's actually like a library index card cabinet. A friend of mine noticed it on a buy and sell here in town. I picked that up for $40 because I've been working on my metal art stuff and my little projects. And one of the things that was frustrating is I had it all in like buckets and I was always having to dig through constantly to try and find stuff. So I found that if I can sort it out a bit better, it's easier for me to find stuff and it's going quicker. So I've got this kind of separated. I got like, bearings and more bearings and some sprockets and then more sprockets. And so that was a good find. I paid $40 for that. And then I also dug out, like I said, my original toolbox. So this is filled with stuff too. And I took the mechanism out so you don't have to have the lid open to open them. So I just got like old wrenches, and you can see why I upgraded my toolbox. This is just a cheap one, like, chain. And so I'm using that for storage too. This is just that dolly that I have for my Jeep roof. And so I beefed it up, added some more structure to it, and then added the shelves to it. Because I don't really have enough room to have a big cabinet on the wall with all my metal stuff. So it's been a kind of a figuring stuff out kind of week. So anyway, thanks for watching. Just thought I'd share this late. I apologize for the long Toolbox tour rant thing, but I know eventually I'm going to have to get a different toolbox as I'm running out of room with what I got. And it's going to be hard for me to get rid of these ones because like I said earlier, I like that style. I really like that style. It's just they don't have the depth for their specialty tools. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Another thing I'm looking at doing is maybe getting just another base cabinet that's got maybe like, say, 4 drawers that are deeper drawers. Because, so like another just cabinet like this, but that's got deeper drawers. Because I have on my tool wish list is a belt sander, stationary belt sander that I could use that cabinet for the base of it. set on top, and then maybe I could keep like spare belts and stuff in one of the drawers, but I could put specialty tools in the other drawers, or I don't know. I'm constantly on Kijiji or on Facebook Marketplace or looking, and it's just an obsession. I like my old toolboxes. So anyway, sorry this is a long video. Thanks again for watching. Comments are always welcome. Any ideas, or if you've ever had like a little kind of thing, like you were inspired to make something because you were able to save a lot of money on like what the store-bought version would be, please share it. I like those little ideas. So everybody take care. Thank you.